Be sure that all carry-on items are securely stowed in an overhead bin, and place smaller items, including handbags, under the seat in front of you.
If you lose your electronic device in your seat, please do not adjust your seat and ask a crew member for assistance. Please ensure all aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas are clear. As we leave the gate, make sure your seatbelt is fastened. To fasten, insert the metal tip into the buckle and adjust the strap so it's low and tight across your back. To release the belt, just lift the top of the buckle.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. Even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you're seated in case of sudden rough air.
In the event of rough air, the crew might also need to buckle up for safety. We apologize if this means our service is interrupted.
Federal regulations require all passengers to comply with the posted placards and lighted information signs located throughout the cabin, in addition to any crew member's instructions.
Smoking, vaping, the use of e-cigarettes, or any smokeless product, including chewing tobacco, is not allowed on any Delta flight.
Federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying restroom smoke detectors.
There are 8 exits on this plane. 8 doors, 4 on each side. 4 doors have detachable slides that can be used as rafts. An additional raft is located in an overhead bin in the middle of the plane.
In the event of an evacuation, leave all carry-on items behind.
All exits are clearly marked with the green symbols. Arrows indicate the direction to these exits. Please take a moment to find the exits closest to you, and remember they might be behind you.
If there's a loss of power, lights will illuminate the aisle to guide you to an exit.
It's unlikely, but if cabin pressure changes, the panels inside the lavatories and above your seat will open, revealing oxygen masks. If this happens, reach up and pull the mask towards you until the tube is fully extended to start the flow of oxygen. Remove any face covering and place the mask over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic strap over your head and adjust the mask if necessary. Breathe normally and note that oxygen is flowing, so don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
A water evacuation is also unlikely, but just in case, life vests are in a compartment beneath or adjacent to your seat. To use, remove the vest from its container by pulling on the tab and then opening the mouth. Slip the vest over your head, wrap the strap around your waist and attach it to the buckle in front, and adjust securely around your waist. As you leave the plane, inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tab at the bottom of the vest, or manually inflate it by blowing into the tube at shoulder level. A water-activated light is attached to each vest.
For children who weigh less than 35 pounds, place the vest around the infant's waist and secure the strap between the legs. Refer to the safety information card for more information. Additional life vests for in-lap children are located in a marked compartment at the front and rear of the plane. We'll distribute these vests if necessary.
Now, before we take off, be sure your seat is upright, your aisle armrests are at resting position, and your tray table is put away. Please take a moment to review the safety information card, which is in your seat pocket.
As we come through the cabin for our final safety check, please let us know if you have any questions.
The team at Delta brings our very best every day to make your world a little smaller.
Now, as we get ready for takeoff, please settle in and have a wonderful flight. Thank you for flying with Delta.
Building engineering program manager by the end of it. So they keep built the convention centers.
Ladies and gentlemen, upon final safety checks, the cabin light will be dimmed throughout the duration of this flight. If you like an additional reading light, it's above your head in your passenger seat panel. Thank you.
Clean rooms, convention centers, and I guess something like hotel centers or whatever. So you do what? Municipal buildings, things.
Basically, our like public spaces as well that are city-owned. Anything that's city-owned. So a renovation of our office or sanitation yard or a library.
Coliseum.
Coliseum is owned by USC, and it was recently renovated by a private firm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that originally was city. Was it bought?
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning from the flight deck. This is your first officer speaking. Welcome aboard Delta Flight 369 with the service to Atlanta. For building number 2 for departure, flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for takeoff.
Next weekend maybe. And I was thinking
bed before and then you go to football games. Like,
Super cool.
yeah. And that was the first time they had graduation in the Coliseum in like 50 years. They usually do it on campus in the middle, but with COVID they didn't want people sitting next to each other. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin light will be dimmed throughout the duration of your flight. If you would like an additional reading light, it's above your head and your passenger seat panel. Thank you so much.
It was weird though because they had us like they had us like register our own graduation information and like how to pronounce our names. We would like speak into the computer.
Yep.
And then when we showed up for graduation, we had like a QR code on our phone.
Oh, okay.
We weren't seated with our school. We weren't seated in any
Just right
sit
there.
wherever. And then when you line up for graduation, they scan your QR code, and
entire Delta family, we are honored to be a part of your journey this morning. A special thank you to our Sky Mile and the drivers for your team loyalty. For your safety, please be safe with your seatbelt securely fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is on. Even when the sign is off, keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience any unexpected of air. Use caution when opening overhead vents and if we have shifted during takeoff. Federal regulations prohibit the use of flight network during flight or prohibit Wi-Fi calling. To connect to the Wi-Fi portal or to review instructions. To connect to the Wi-Fi portal or to review the approved electronic devices, please review the
They have like retirement accounts. They save. I guess I just want to be money for my company. Like people that use it, like need it. Like I have probably around 4 tenants that I called it co-process the paperwork because you don't do it alone, right? You know, together you're made of or something. And it's like
passes for all of us.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Delta's pleasure to welcome you to Atlanta, Georgia, where the local time is 2:27 p.m. Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the aircraft is parked at the gate and the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign. Use caution when opening overhead bins, as items may have shifted during landing. You may now use your mobile devices. Before you leave the aircraft, check on your seat for any items that you brought on board today's flight. We do invite you to visit Delta.com for all of your future travel needs, including checking in for a flight and managing your Sky Miles account. On behalf of Delta, Sky Team, our global partners, and especially the Los Angeles-based crew, thank you again for sharing your journey with us. We enjoyed having you on board today's flight and look forward to serving you again soon. Have a wonderful weekend, and thank you for flying Delta.
Handle the books and the investments. Houses.
Our arrival gate this afternoon is B16. Once again, that is B as in Bravo 16.
One of us isn't working.
Baggage claim is number 7. Thank you.
Screw you.
Yeah. One of my best friends, when I was like in grad school, when I graduated and then I got hired on full time, he's like, yeah, so how do you feel about being a stay-at-home stepdad? I was like, aha, no.
Although that's
Like, come on, you can be my sugar mama.
was it by her mother from New York, right? She just got promoted. Fairly big job at this point. And I said, yeah, can you ask for more money? She's like, why? Well, we're gonna have to find a boy that we can deal with and then sponsor his model of it.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be your landlord.
Yeah.
She said, he's got always right.
Yeah.
Right, these guys have like Dargans. Go to the Irish bar. They'll be drunk, hunched over, probably disgusting like I was. And then you'll talk to them the next day and you realize that he probably has their shit together to have enough money to go to the bar, get that drunk regularly.
Yeah.
Maybe just messing with stuff. But yeah, it's wild out. Like all my friends, we have gatherings, Super Bowl, whatever. It's all couples and then chicks. And all the chicks are like, where's all your girlfriends? Like, they're all here with girls. The girls are like, well, you look at more friends, I don't have any more.
I'm at capacity, man.
There's 50 people here. Like, I don't know how big this is.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild for us. You know, we're going through, it's gonna be like, the seesaw is definitely like gone that way. Now
Yeah.
it's gonna like re-seesawing it back to like a tricky situation.
Yeah.
All my like minor laziness.
It's hard to read. I just don't know.
We'll do well. Thanks for being with me. Like Beverage.
Yeah. Likewise. I don't think I've ever chatted with anybody on a plane before. Everybody's like,
I prefer it to whatever this is. That's so every day.
yeah.
I mean, I've never really got 6 documents done.
I can help you with the trimmings.
Really, it's just about like, whatever I'm trained to shoot under 12 documents.
Yeah. Any of those implicit bias, I can help you with.
Yes. We had a whole weekend. So we had a first 8 Something else to do. You know.
As soon as you clear doors for arrival, passenger will call please.